Castle, and today we're doing something kind of different. If you've been around a while, you know that I really don't like mass producing cards. It is not my favorite thing to do. I shouldn't, I just don't love it. But I had the opportunity to help my cousins with a few events in their lives recently, and I decided to help them out. And I decided to help them out. Like, there was never really a question that I was going to help them. But, that's that. Anyway, I was asked by my aunt to make these little signs for these little sort of table tent things for my cousin's baby shower. And I gladly agreed, and we talked about what she wanted, and she wanted like wreath, the kind of a wreathy thing, and I was like, I know exactly what to do, wreath builder, and I don't mind mass producing wreath builders. Wreath builders are the one thing that I am very willing to mass produce, because as you're going to see, there are a lot of weird cuts and things in this video, because I find making wreath builders so relaxing that I get so distracted. And then it ended up being she only needed like 5 of them. I actually ended up doing 10, because I think I did 5 in 2 different sizes. But it ended up being a lot less of them than I thought I was going to have to do, so it wasn't even that big of a deal anyway. But I, of course, did not get a ton of pictures because I never think of these things. So I do have one picture that was sent to me after the event of that. I mean, I was there, but I just didn't take pictures, so I'm not very good at that. And I didn't get pictures before I handed them off either. I just have the picture I sent of the sample one. And the sample one actually does have a little bit of a different design. And the picture I have from the baby shower, because they ended up needing an extra one, so I gave them the sample one, ends up being the sample one too. So I don't actually have finished pictures of the ones you see me make in the video. But that's okay. So anyway, I think mass producing wreath builders is the best way to mass produce a card. And like I said, some people like do the mass die cutting thing when they need a break and just need to chill. I love to do wreath builders. The thing is, most of the times the ones I pre-do don't always end up ever becoming anything other than just me goofing around. But when my mojo takes a hike, it's a good sort of, and I don't, if usually, basically, let's make that's the theme of the video. What do you do when your mojo takes a hike? Usually for me, it's I'll grab a class if I have any crop and create classes left over or some other kind of class. I'll usually pick up those if my mojo's decided to leave me for a while, and usually something in there will spark something for me. But if I don't have anything like that lying around, then a lot of times I'll just pull out my wreath builder, and usually after like 1 or 2, all of a sudden my mojo starts to come back a little bit, and I start feeling a little bit more creative. And unlike mass die cutting, because what happens for me when I try to mass die cut things is I get so overwhelmed by how much I've die cut that, and not being able to use it fast enough, that it just don't vibe for me. But like I said, usually 1 or 2 wreaths, and my mojo's starting to come back. Maybe even, like the second or third one, I'll start being like, oh, I could turn this into a card that looks like this, or I could do that with this. And then that kind of sparks the creativity flowing again, and that's that. So I also do not have the new and improved wreath builder with the positioning piece to it. I just have like the OG version, and so it's a lot of trial and error for me with wreath builder, because I don't have that positioning piece to be able to play with and map things out and all of that kind of stuff. So it's just a very playtime for me, and it's very knowing that not all of them will turn out, and sometimes that's the kickstart my mojo needs to, because I often get stuck on the honestly, as a YouTuber, I tend to get stuck on the it needs to be video worthy train, because I film everything I make. I work full time as well at a job that I absolutely love, and I don't always have a ton of time to like not get a video right on the first try. So, and it happens. I often don't get videos right on the first try, and sometimes I still post them. But I just, it's just not a luxury I have per se. And this giving myself permission with a wreath builder to screw up a few times before I get it right is sometimes, I think, the biggest mojo help there is not having to have it be perfect on the first try. And honestly, that happens to me in real life as well, outside of my craft room too. I'm one of those people who doesn't do a lot of things because they don't think they can do them. So, or, if I don't feel like I can do it perfectly, I might not even try at all, kind of things. So, it's a good lesson for me overall. And I'm sure there's other people out there as well. There was one time I was going through something and with one of my parents, and I sat in my bedroom for 6 hours and made like 30 mini wreath builders, and it was the most relaxing thing I'd done, because the stuff was going on and I had no mojo. I wasn't doing anything. I was not in the mental space to be doing anything creative, and I took my wreath builder in my bedroom and I sat down and I made like 30 mini wreath builders, because I think it was probably not long after that first came out, and maybe not. No, probably not long after. And I made like 30 mini wreath builders, and it was great, and it was the most relaxing thing, and I got my mojo back, and I felt better in that moment than I had in a long time. So that was how I discovered that wreath builders are actually quite relaxing for me. So, and like I said, is the only thing you will ever really catch me mass producing is a wreath builder. I helped my cousin's wedding with a few things, but they came over and helped with that, so I didn't do that all on my own. And the other thing was really quick that I did for them. So it was just, and I divided it over a couple of days, and it worked very well for me. But yeah, that's that. This is very much your basic wreath builder pattern, so I didn't talk much about how it works. It's been around for a while now, and I feel like people kind of get it. And I feel like this video is, like I said, this is like as basic wreath builder as you get, pretty much. So I actually think I'm just going, oh no, I am going to keep talking because we haven't gotten to the good part yet, which is I may turn these into easel cards. Basically is the design I use. We were trying to come up with some kind of table tent thing, and I was like, well, an easel card may be a little bit more stable, and you'll see at the end the picture I do have from the shower. They didn't all use them as easel cards, which is fine. I said, this provides you the versatility to use them how you need to use them. So it all worked out in the end. But then when the ones they used to label the food and stuff were great to have as easel cards. So the one thing I am going to say is I don't know the measurements of timing of this. That was the other thing I was going to talk about, because we're getting to the end of the wreaths here. To mass produce all of the wreaths probably took me, my oven went off because I was preheating it for dinner. I don't know if you heard that. Probably not. It's pretty far away, but this mic's pretty good. So but it probably took me about 2 to 3 hours to do all of this from start to finish. All the wreath builders, all the die cutting, because I do die cut all of the wreath builders out with a circle die, and all of the cutting to make the easel cards, all of the die cutting for the hearts that I use to help the easel card stand. All of that stuff took me probably 3 hours. It was actually fairly quick. And I've had one card take me longer than 3 hours. So the fact that I got all 10 of these done in 3 hours is really, really nice. And I did spread it out over a few days. But I did all the big ones, and then I did all the little ones a different day. But it all worked out. So there you can see I just die cut that in the circle, and then these are the easel cards. Now, I wish I had measurements for these, but I did this back in August, and I filmed this back in August, and I don't remember the measurements anymore. I know I kind of made them up, and I'm going to tell you how I made them up, because that I do remember. I just don't remember the exact numbers. So basically what I did is I die cut the wreath builder, or the wreath that I had made. I die cut that, and then I measured this, essentially, if you were in geometry class, I measured the diameter of the circle. So I got from, side to side basically what the size of that was. And then I think I added like a eighth of an inch or something. No, I don't think I did. Yeah, that's just what I used. And that's how I got that sort of like long side measurement. And then to get the folds and stuff, and then I just doubled it, and I did a lot of math. Basically, you get the diameter of the circle and you double it, and then that's your long edge, and you score that in half, and then I just scored about an inch on the bottom. I just kind of made that up, and it happened to work really well. And here's the picture from the shower. So that's that. This is just a really quick video today to show off these fun little signs I did and something a little bit different. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I will see you again soon, and have a crafty day.